How does a marriage that looks perfect fall apart, seemingly overnight? And why does no one see it coming? They had the smiles, the date night, the anniversary post, but underneath the picture perfect surface, something sacred was slowly falling apart. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Even perfect couples crumble, and it happens when spiritual connection fades and surface level love replaces real leadership. And husbands, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about blind spots and what happens when we assume we're doing enough just because we're not doing anything obviously wrong. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 reasons why even good marriages quietly collapse and what you, as a husband, need to see before it's too late. And here's the deeper question you have to face. Is my marriage truly built on spiritual depth, or have I settled for performance, peacekeeping, and pretending everything's okay? The unraveling doesn't start with betrayal. It starts with blindness, especially when the man stops checking in spiritually with himself. At some point, the husband and wife stop spiritually growing together, but keep continuing in the relationship like nothing's wrong. The dates continue. The intimacy doesn't stop. But deep down, the marriage has shifted from authentic to automatic. Why? Because performance in a relationship is easier than presence. It's easier to smile for photos than to ask, "How's your soul doing lately?" It's easier to look connected than to admit we haven't prayed together in months. And husbands, this one falls heavily on us. When we stop growing spiritually, we often don't notice we're leading our marriage on cruise control. A marriage can look alive and still be spiritually starving because routine is not the same as renewal. It's like watering a fake plant. You feel productive, but it never ever grows. Marriages fall apart when we coast spiritually instead of building spiritual momentum. But there's something even more dangerous than coasting, and that's silence, the kind that builds over time until the damage is done. Perfect couples often fall into this trap of silent assumptions. The husband assumes she's fine. The wife assumes he doesn't care, and nobody checks the assumptions until something explodes. Many husbands mistake silence for peace, but silence is only peace if the peace is chosen, not when it's used to avoid hard conversations. And over time, that silence becomes a wall, a quiet distance, an emotional drought. And yes, wives play a role here too, sometimes holding things in because they don't feel safe to share. But as a spiritual leader, it is on the husband to create that safety. You can't fix what you're afraid to face, and what you don't ask, you'll never understand. It's like driving with no dashboard. You assume everything's fine until the engine dies. Now, this next reason, it's one of the most common and most ignored spiritual breakdowns in a marriage. Most perfect couples look like a good match on paper. They have the same interests, the same goals, good chemistry, but none of that matters when the spiritual foundation is missing. When couples stop reading God's word together, when prayer becomes optional, when decisions are made without seeking divine direction, the marriage becomes a mutual project, not a spiritual union. Compatibility doesn't sustain the relationship, and husbands, if we are not prioritizing spiritual alignment, we are leaving our homes exposed. Without spiritual grounding, compatibility becomes temporary and love becomes convenient. It's like building a house on a great location with no foundation. Everything seems fine at first until the storm. But sometimes it's not the storm that breaks the couple. It is pride that prevents them from preparing for it. Usually, couples don't want to admit something's wrong. They ignore the tension, avoid the conflict, smile through the struggle. And for many husbands, pride plays a huge role. You don't want to bring it up. You think, "It'll blow over." You believe addressing it makes it worse. But what actually makes it worse is silence in the name of pride. Husbands, you have to be brave enough to ask the hard questions and humble enough to hear the hard answers. This is what I've discovered. What you avoid out of pride will one day confront you in pain. It's like owning a house and refusing to check the foundation. Eventually, the whole structure makes the decision for you. And when the emotional distance grows, most couples try to fix it with more effort, when what they really need is more presence. At some point, the marriage becomes about duties, schedules, tasks, goals, and slowly, both people feel unseen, especially the wife, who may be at home managing kids, managing the home, working, and wondering, does my husband even see me anymore? Husbands, our wives don't need us to be more. They need us to be more spiritually tuned in, more emotionally present, more aware of what she's feeling beneath the surface. And wives, many don't say it, but they crave that steady spiritual presence, a man who doesn't just do what needs to be done, but leads her with peace. You cannot serve her soul if you're not spiritually present. It's like showing up to coach a game you never practiced for. You are there, but not prepared to lead. Now, this last point is a silent killer of perfect couples. It disguises itself as calm, but underneath, it is rotting everything sacred about the marriage. Even though couples spend time together, they still pray together, still wear the rings, but there's no reverence, no submission to God Himself, no real fear of what happens when spiritual intimacy dies. Husbands, when we lead without appreciation and reverence for God, our egos are leading the marriage, and as a result, our marriage becomes a performance, not a purpose. It's not the ritual that saves the marriage. It's the reverence that sanctifies it. When you stop revering God, the marriage starts revolving around you, and that's where the cracks begin. It's like using an unplugged lamp in a dark room. You still have the structure, but you have no light whatsoever. Being a husband isn't just a title. It is a dignified role that God has given you. However, if you're spiritually passive, your leadership will be passive. And if your leadership is passive, your marriage will be vulnerable. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be present. Spiritually present, emotionally present, mentally present. A passive spirit leads to a vulnerable marriage, but a spiritually grounded man leads his wife to peace. You are the spiritual thermostat. If you check out, the temperature of your marriage will drop, and eventually the warmth leaves the home, and so may your wife. Marriages don't fall apart overnight. They fall apart in silence, long before anyone even sees it. And if you saw your story in this message, don't panic, just realign. You're not broken. You're being called back to spiritual leadership, to presence, to reverence, to humility, because your wife doesn't need perfect. She needs steady. She needs real. She needs you, rooted in God, led by His Spirit, and consistent in action. Drop a comment. Which of the 6 points in this video hits you the hardest, and what are you going to change this week? Subscribe. If you're building more than a marriage, you're building a legacy. This is the kind of video you just don't watch. You live it every single day so you can build a happier marriage with your wife.